welcome back. Thanks for coming back. What is going on with the weather? That's all we can say. We're in downtown Paphos. We're in a universal area and we're cutting up towards, well, uptown Paphos. That's where we're going. That car in front is going for an MOT. And after the MOT is done, subject to it passing, we're going to service it, do its brakes and all those bits and bobs, and then we're going to return it to its customer in Paya, because most of our customers live in Paya. Anyway, what's going on with the weather? This Dawn is sitting there on the sofa. She's going, what the hell is going on? Daisy is going, what? That's not my homeland. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Bo's looking at her going, what? Miss Daisy, you've been lying to me. You told me it's always sunny in uptown Paphos. Well, not today. Mr. Sean, if I was you, I'd come out in April. Yes, like you're saying. I wouldn't come now because, well, it's a little bit rainy, that's indeed. When you've got Mr. Richard there with Anne on his lap and she's going, what's going on? What is going on? And Mr. Allen is there in his cagoule, he's plugging it in, he's got his waterproof insulated plug, because otherwise, you understand, it's going to get electrocuted, or you're going to have to run like the clappers because the machine is going to malfunction, not malfunction. I'm confusing my English. There we go. Anyway, you never know, that machine might be non-binary. So, hey, it could be a non-binary running machine. That's a new word that was put into my vocabulary yesterday. Anyway, where are we? We're coming up to the main road, the tree-lined avenue, which normally we go down. And we go down to Paradise. But I think you understand that today Paradise, well, it's not quite paradise. No, it's a little bit, well, Sherlock Holmesing today, shall we say. One of our favourite phrases. And if you're wondering, if you're new to the channel, what does that actually mean? Well, in plain simple English, it means S-H-I-T. There we go. It's a classic phrase that Marika was watching Grassini out of the booth came up with one day when we were out monkeying around in some catacombs, and I was trying to pronounce the name of the place, and of course my pronunciation is, well, not very good, especially when I'm trying to pronounce the lingos, shall we say. So I have to have translators like Marika and of course Miss Nicole, all the way from Crete, who now resides in downtown sunny Manchester. And to be honest, it's probably more sunny in Manchester today. You can see that flashing thing on the side. That's one of those smart things, and it's very, very smart indeed, because the Gumbaru #1, well, he understands that he can get you to advertise on it, and that's a great way of extracting money out of you. See, he's not he's a very clever man indeed, actually. Anyway, Nicole, all the way from Crete, my Cretan friend, all the way residing in sunny Manchester, with a little son called Kenny. Don't forget, your job is to translate from Fidonis, who is the mayor, who is actually a very, very good man indeed, by the way. We all make fun of the local government officials and all that kind of stuff, but to be honest, the mayor of Paphos is probably one of the greatest mayors in the world. And why is he that? Because, well, he gets things done. He understands that he has to upset us with digging this road up and digging that road up, but it has to be done, and unfortunately there is new infrastructures that have got to go in, and unfortunately there was that little bit of a hiccup a couple of years back that caused the world to, how do we say it, stop. So of course lots of things got backed up and now they've all got to be done. And you know, people say that, oh, he's inconveniencing me, and he is. But don't forget, he's inconveniencing himself. He's inconveniencing his own mother and father and daughter and son and cousins and nephews. So it's not a personal thing. He's not digging up your road to dig up your road. Although, if I ever worked with him, he probably could, just to upset you. Anyway, where are we? We are heading the wrong way out of Paradise, as you can see. And just over there is the Volvo and Hyundai dealer. So if you want to buy one of those, if you're retiring to Cyprus, that's where you'd pop in. And then just up here, if you fancy a Ford, it's quite a nice little car now. They make like a Ford Cougar, which is like a baby four-wheel drive one. In fact, there's one in white. Quite a cute looking car. And if you want an electric car, there's the MG dealer. And of course, they are electric only now. And you've got a benzene station. And then over here, you've got the new Super Home Centre DIY and the Cabia store, whatever that is. I think that's a boutique. So that's opened up there, and that's called the Paphos Neon Mall. And why have they relocated to there? We won't stop at this light, doesn't matter. It's only just gone to red and it doesn't matter in Cyprus. There we are. Right, now, why have they opened up the Super DIY Centre there when they've got a Super DIY Centre on the roundabout? Because they're going to knock that one down and they're going to build a 27-storey block of luxury apartments. Yeah, and a sort of hotel, so I'm told, as well, and a parade of shops. It's going to go very, very posh indeed. So if you've got a couple of bob and your name may be Dayman or Lord Nigel Big Guns, that could be the place for you. So if you're looking for a spectacular apartment with a view pretty much all over the world, if you're on the top floor, that's the place for you. Now, what's that in front of us? Well, that is the main roundabout just over there towards the rightish hand side now that takes you to Limassol. Now, if you follow the channel, if you go straight up the hill and you go to Konya and Armu, you go past our house. And of course, you'd also go up to Memphis Hills, another luxury 5-star development with a hotel and a spa and luxury villas and a 5-star award-winning PGA golf course. So if you like a bit of golf, that could be the place for you. Now, to give you a bearing on this road, so this is the road from the main Limassol roundabout that's going to link us to the lower Anabargos roundabout, and just over there to the right at these traffic lights there is a grey building, and it is a drab building to be honest, and whenever you go in there they are very, very grumpy people indeed. And what are they? Well, that is the Electricity Authority of Cyprus main office in Paphos. So if you want to get hooked up, that's where you go. If you want to pay your bill, that's where you go. And if you want to complain, guess what? That's where you go. But normally they just throw you out. So pop in, pay your bill, let them grunt at you, and then bugger off. Right, here we go. Piddling down with rain, by the way, it really is. It's quite dangerous to drive in this weather because, as in most countries, most people don't seem to understand that their stopping distances, well, they are greatly extended in the rain. And most people say, well, I drive this road every single day. Yeah, you did, but it wasn't snowing that day, and yeah, it wasn't raining that day, and that's why you ended up in the jupper of the car in front with double trouble in it. Yes, and then they both got out and attacked you with a rubber mallet. So that's Sir Simon and Sir Jeremy. So there you go, that's the Fountain roundabout there. As you can see, it's splittering and splurting, and at night time it's all lit up, and it's a very, very nice roundabout to be honest, and apparently it cost €1 million. Yeah, you heard me correctly. I think a couple of gumbaroos had their hands in the till there. Right, where are we now? So we're now wiggling and waggling towards the top of hell, if you understand what I'm talking about, and the bottom of the Masoyi Avenue. But we're not going to go all the way to the end. We're going to take a left down here by Belvin Franks. I think that's it you said. They're financial advisors, British financial advisors in downtown Paphos. So again, if you've got a couple of bob and you want to know where to invest it, that's where you might go, and they'll make some lovely commissions out of you. And you never know, you might get to be richer than you actually are in a couple of years. Or not, who knows. But we're wiggling now and we're going to our MOT centre, and if you've watched videos where we go down to hell, you'll know where it is on the corner, but you can't get to it off the main road. You have to come round its back end because there's been some new roadings going in. So this is the way you have to get to that MOT centre now. So we're going to get to here. This is the rear of the Paphos Veterinary Services, as the sign suggests. Now I think what that is, those are people who go out to farms and check out the livestock and check how their condition is and how they're looked after and that kind of thing. Now here we are. This is where we bring the cars for an MOT, and just so you understand, this is the most strict MOT guy in the whole of Paphos, possibly in the world. Now, why would we bring cars here? Because we want the cars to be as roadworthy as possible, and this guy does a thorough check. He even knows if one of your lights doesn't work. And I know you're thinking, hold on a minute, if I come from England or Germany, or if my name's Anna from Poland, well, they would always check your lights. But in Cyprus, they don't. They just put it on a ramp, have a quick look at it and go, that's good enough. That's not good enough for our customers. our customers want their cars to know that they've had a very, very good MOT test indeed. And as I told you, that chappie in front has owned that car for 21 years. Yep, you heard me correctly. Got plenty of money, but he bought that car brand new when he came to Cyprus. And there's the MOT man dancing in the background there with his rubber gloves on. Look at that. He's now asking me if I'll bend over is what he's doing. But anyway, he's having a laugh and a joke. He used to live in the French part of Canada, by the way. And my brother's going to get in the car now. As you see, this is this monster of a man coming over. And he's looking a bit damp. So we're going to say a big, big hello to you. Anyway. So he's got his rubber gloves on. What's he got to say, Jerry? How long? He doesn't look very busy.
No.
No?
Half an hour.
Half an hour or so, right. So he's going to give that a very, very strict MOT, as I've told you.
He is, he's one of the strictest in Paphos.
He is the strictest in Paphos, but that's a good thing, because it means, well, you're thinking, hold on a minute, that means Mr. Paul gets to make money. And yeah, we do. But most of our customers want their cars to have good tyres. They want them to have good brakes.
Make money? I thought we were a charity organisation.
We are a charity organisation. Now, on that note, if you would really like to watch the channel grow, why not go through to our About page, where you can consider to buy us a coffee or two. There's a little thing called Buy Me a Coffee icon. You click on that, and if your name's Little Kenny, you get your dad's Visa card and you just register it and you buy us a coffee now and again, because you understand that you're in charge of the driving around Paphos. Now, as a little treat, I'm going to take you down the main road into hell, and let's see what's going on.
Oh, it'll be flooded, won't it?
Probably. So we're going to have a bit of fun as we go down here. Now, just coming up here to give you a bearing, this road's quite new. It's been all tarmacked and they've put bollards along the pavement so we can't park on there anymore. I mean, what's going on in this mayor's mind? I just don't know. I mean, parking is for pavements. You know, walking doesn't happen in Cyprus. People get cars. Most people in Cyprus have got 4 or 5 cars. The average Cypriot, by the way, has 4 or 5 cars. Now, back to MOTs, because my business guru, the strategist known as the one and only Mr. Richard Davis, who happened to jet into Paphos last week, brought his beautiful wife, Miss Julie, with her, and of course, my bodyguard and my Gumbaru #1, Mr. Leo. He asked the other day about MOTs. MOTs in Cyprus, how does it work? Well, I don't know about all other European countries, but in the UK, which is where most of our views come from, you have to go for an MOT every 12 months. Well, 1 day less to be legal, isn't it? But to keep it simple, every 12 months. In Cyprus, you don't have to go once a year, you go every 2 years, so it's a bit more lax, shall we say, and of course it's a bit cheaper, because you only have to pay €35 every 2 years. And like I said, in most cases, I mean, I'm not being funny, if you took your front bumper off, your rear bumper off, your rear lights out, and your front lights out, and your steering wheel off, you'd still manage to pass. I think you get the idea. In Russia, they would say panamaish, which means you understand. Yeah? And you haven't even got to bribe him. He would just give you an MOT certificate. And I know it's getting more strict, and let's hope that it does. But if you're curious to know, when you're driving around in your hire car and you're following a car with its lights hanging off, it probably has got an MOT. Or he was a Gumbaru up a Gumbaru. Let's let this chap out, because I understand that nobody else will. Come on, Gumbaru #1. Now, in its day, that was quite a good car, because it's a CDI, isn't it? So it's a very, very economical car. But as you can see, that car is still going strong in Cyprus. Why? No rust. Yes, a very, very dry, well, unless you live down by, should we say, right by the sea, and your car's parked not in a garage, and then, of course, the salt can get to it. But most of the cars in Cyprus last a very, very long time indeed. So often you'll come to Cyprus on your holidays and see a car perhaps that you owned 30 years ago, and you're thinking, my God, mine disintegrated at 7 years old and it failed its MOT and got scratched. Not scratched. It got scratched before the MOT failed. Anyway, in Cyprus, you'll often find cars 20, 30, 40 years old driving around with not a lot of rust. Because, of course, the climate normally is very, very nice, except for today. What do you think of the weather?
It's lovely, isn't it?
Well, it's not cold, is it? But it's a little bit damp. Ooh, there we are. There's an improvement. See? They are starting to put in the roundabout. So finally, this road is sort of coming to sort of completion. But it's absolute hell, isn't it? Although, because they've opened this part of the road, we haven't got to go over those potholes over there, but now there's some more potholes over here. So as you can see, this is why the locals call it hell. The roads are absolutely awful, and every day you come in here, something's changed, and not for the good. You used to be able to get down that street, and then today you can't get down it, and then the next day you can. So everyone hasn't got a clue where the hell they're going. And why I've come down here, I don't know. But we've got to waste half an hour for that MOT, haven't we? Yes, that's what we've got to do. And if you're curious to know the price of benzene, by the way, this is a diesel car, so 156.9. So if you were to buy a copy, back to that one again, it would allow us to drive around for around about an hour. There we are. This car is not very economical, but it is quite comfortable, even on the road from hell. Anyway, I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe. Let's get through these potholes, Dizzy Blonde. And you were saying in the comments yesterday, Dizzy Blonde, by the way, that your husband is a Greek Cypriot and you're going to eventually come back to Cyprus and he'll always find something to do. Well, if he speaks Greek, I was thinking he could ride shotgun with the mayor and they could run around doing potholes. I mean, your husband would sit in the car and just tell him what to do. Because the mayor's, he's quite a handy chap, he's got a big chap actually. So he could jump out and do all the pothole filling, and your husband could film it. Start a YouTube channel, plenty of potholes to film, so there's plenty of content. And when they're finished in Paphos, they go off to Limassol. When they're finished in Limassol, they can go off to Nicosia. Then there's Larnaca, and then of course it's time to start all over again. Isn't that a nice car?
Okay.
Yeah, pucker. That's a good word, isn't it? That's a proper London word. Miss Nessie. I know you're from Shropshire now, but Richard tells me originally you're from London. So that is a very, very pucker Range Rover indeed. And we know you've got a Range Rover. So go and have a rummage in Andrew's pockets and just see how much he's got. Because I'll bet you he can afford to buy one of them. Anyway, where are we? Well, that building over there on the right-hand side. Downstairs is Coffee Nero, and in the middle floor there's a flag. It's not blowing very much today. It's a little bit at half-mast because, well, it's the Russian consulate. Anyway, on that note, we'll say thanks for watching.